I'm sorry, guys. I made an awful prediction. I hold my hand up and apologize to all Sri Lanka fans. I got carried away. It wasn't 458 for one. I was talking out of my backside, which I usually do sometimes, but don't slander me. 197 for nine, Nikhil Popat. You've not even got, none of us have got our predictions. Like, can you tell me what's happened? And then I'll get Gurkirat to, of course, give his insight.
Well, for once the pitch report was right, it seems it was dry. And see, my problem is not with with Wellalage taking wickets. We expected that. We talked about him doing well. My problem is Asalanka getting four. In no world, in thousand times the games being repeated, I would be able to tell you that Asalanka would take four wickets and he would bowl more overs than Pathiran, even to the tail. So just one of those Jaimatadi games.
Absolutely. I'd like to quote a movie dialogue here from Three Idiots. All is Wellalage, Asalanka, Sri Lanka, Gurkirat. Because honest to God, bro, like you spoke about it in the pre-match show. Nick spoke about it in the pre-match show when I asked for matchups. But everyone almost, the five of them, got out to left arm spin. Kya ho raha hai, bhai? It's either left arm pace or left arm spin.
It's left arm spin has been a problem. But coming to Asalanka, it's not that he's just taken 4 wickets. He's bowled with the best economy.
And he's not bowled. The last time he bowled was like 22 ODIs ago.
Yeah, so see, today's game is a good example of how just having a left-hander in the middle order doesn't really solve your problems of playing left-arm spin. Uh, KL Rahul was far, 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 far more comfortable playing left-arm spin and spin in general as opposed to Ishan Kishan. And I know it's only been 2 games, one versus Pakistan and this one, but this is the reason why I was never comfortable with Ishan Kishan in the middle order because his issue has always been strike rotation, and today was something similar. Yes, a mini collapse that happened, but if Shreyas Iyer was playing today, uh, he would not have and played 61 balls for 33 runs. He would have definitely turned the strike over far more. And this is precisely why, if both KL and Shreyas are fit, they play ahead of Ishan Kishan in the middle order. If you have to play Ishan Kishan and there's a spot in the opening position, then it's different. But he cannot play ahead of KL and Shreyas because of the quality and the pedigree they possess. Uh, Another thing which was very annoying and irritating for me was that how Axar Patel found himself stuck with the tail again. It's been a theme of 2023 for him. When he gets the chance, for India, he doesn't get the chance to play. When he gets the chance to play, he's often found stuck with the tail. And today was no different.
It was no difference, and a lot of people in the comments going mad and ballistic, understandably so. Another debate in Akshar versus Jadeja today. I was hoping Jadeja at least does something. That wasn't to be as well. Nikhil, let me just ask you: the first 10 overs, India got off to a flyer. It was a different game, but why did they take so long to figure out that it's going to turn? Because surely Shanaka missed a trick there, or not really?
Now, I want to first know whether I'm audible now.
You are audible.
Okay. Maybe that's what Sanaka missed. He wanted to check things out first. That okay, let me get myself on. And that's been the theme with him. I honestly expected Wellalage to open the bowling with Tikshina because we discussed this right in the preview. So the thing with this is it was again a long shot that's how they've operated the fifth bowling spot after the first few overs are done to get a few overs in and then you get Wellalage on. Now, the thing that worked the most for Wellalage was the first ball. When you get wicket on the very first ball and the way Shubman lost balance trying to counter that, then it just sets the game up so much well for everybody else because then you are playing the game completely differently. Till that point of time, Rohit was able to put anything and whatever that was thrown to him as a challenge. But he also actually got a unlucky grubber that did not get up. But even he was a bit more circumspect. Virat, the moment you saw Virat come in, and you could see that there is tension building because the control percentage is there. He's defending, but he may not be able to read it as well. And I don't think those were easy conditions. So I think firstly India will thank their stars that Rohit gave them a very good start because it gave them a platform to allow some time to recalibrate the target. But I think Wellalage just kept, and discipline is what you also said with Wellalage, that he did not move away from that mark. Kept hitting the same spot, one spun, one didn't. And then when you have so many things happening, he was also good with the angles. He was coming around the wicket and creating more angles. So lots for the batter to then work out. And again, as Paji said, KL Rahul again showed his class there, that his strike rate as compared to Kishan, chalk and cheese.
And just think about it from a Wellalage perspective as well. He got 5 prize scalps of the Indian cricket team: Rohit, Gill, Kohli, KL, and Hardik. That's some 5 to have in your fifer. More stats available on the cricket.com analysis in the live blog over there, so check it out. The little short update that I want to give you guys is that it stopped raining. We start losing overs at 7:52 p.m. But am I being overconfident when I say, Gurkirat, that India have enough here? 197, they can defend it, bro. 3 spinners. जडेजा खा जाएगा भाई.
See, ideally, given the conditions, India would have liked 225. Because see, it's when you know you have to chase around 200, then as batters you have a lot more time. And if someone is in the middle of the good spell, you can, look to play it out. So Sri Lanka will always have that advantage that they'll know what score that they have to chase. So
Okay, but one
they
second.
can.
Let me ask you Abneet Singh's question here, because he said, should India start with spin now, give 2 to 3 overs to Bumrah, and move ahead accordingly? I'm only asking you that also because overhead conditions and the sheen of the wicket might give them assistance early on, the Pacers, or not really?
See, I'd still go for a 3 over each spell for both Siraj and Bumrah. I mean, if they really do badly, then maybe bring in a change in the fifth over. But you still want to give them an early spell to see what is there, right? If there is swing available, because it has been under lights, then you have 2 very good bowlers who can take advantage of it. Spin worked for Sri Lanka, yes, but one of the reasons why pace did not work for them was also the huge difference in quality of pace bowling. That is also something that we have to acknowledge. So yes, spin will have a role to play, but I'd still like, at least 3 over spell for both Siraj and Bumrah to start off the proceedings and then see how it goes. And on that Kohli bit that Nikhil was mentioning, that when Wellalage got wicket off the first delivery, Shub, our colleague, I read his tweet and he said that as soon as the first ball was bowled by Wellalage and he get that wicket, he was confident that Kohli's streak of 500s at Premadasa will get broken.
Oh my word. By the way, all you guys in the
He's
comments
tweeted
really
it.
love it. Yeah, we'll check it out. I don't discount that. But Noodle Hacks with Asan, good to see you. Vikram Mohanty, Ankar Bishwas, Aditya Anand as well. All you cool cats in the comments. Keep your questions coming through because we're here with you till the rain subsides and till that second inning starts. And we'll, of course, be doing the post-match review as well. Noodle next going on to say this. KL got up with a ball at the spin of 7.4 degrees. Jadeja of 7.6 degrees. Both are same length. So does it show that Jadeja and Axar bowling at similar length can yield a purchase? And do you think they'll be more effective than Sri Lanka's spin trio?
See, the thing is, ideally you'd say that on paper they have a better spin attack. They should be able to bowl much better than how Sri Lanka and the Sri Lanka and Wellalage bowled. But you see, Theekshana did not get anything. DGS was also economical. So the thing here is what will be very, very important for India is to get the pace right. And I hope it is something that we don't discuss in the review of the game, because if they don't get the pace right, the ball will actually skid on to the bat. Again, it depends on lines also that they bowl at what pace they bowl to get the purchase out of it. I'm sure there is enough help, but sometimes one of them just, and you've seen this with Jadeja. I mean, we have talked about this in so many IPL watch-alongs that Jadeja is bowling in the higher 90s. Is the right pace for this day? That is something that they'll have to figure out very quickly, and it can be different speeds for different spinners, but they'll have to get that very, very quickly, because the advantage, as Padi said, they know what they're chasing. So they can shuffle the batting order. They can go harder versus pace also. But the thing with pace is, as well as Padi said, there is quality. We saw how Siraj and Bumrah were able to move the ball under lights. So that is also something that India will hope that they get the new ball wickets, which sets it up for the pacers to do the job, just like yesterday. So I think there is enough there for India to make most of. But the margin of error is going to be lesser for spinners because they will be expected to take wickets. And sometimes when you're expected to take a lot of wickets, you if you don't get it right in the very first few overs, you tend to try a bit too hard. So that's where I'm very keen to see the homework done and what all have they picked from the first innings in terms of right speeds and because length, both of them will not leave that length. Jadeja will not leave that mark, and so will Axar. But your angle, your trajectory, your all of those small nitty-gritty that help you beat the bat, that is what is going to be very, very crucial.
For me, wickets of, once if the top order is take, like, you'd really want those top order wickets, but uh, Sadira, Samavikrama, and Asalanka, these two batters would really be the key, because they are also the sort of batters who really don't play that rash shot out of nowhere if runs are not coming. They've shown a lot of maturity, and in this Asia Cup itself, they've played good innings on difficult tracks. Asalanka in the first game versus Bangladesh, uh, Sadira Samavikrama in the last game. So these two batters are good enough to do the job.
Yeah, Adnan Shahid goes on to say, does playing in this kind of wicket help World Cup preparation or not? Do you think the Chennai pitch will behave like this in the World Cup? Let alone Chennai, I mean, Lucknow as well will probably be some sort of wicket.
Lucknow, the pitch is being relayed, so we are not really sure. But yes, Chennai helps. India will be playing Afghanistan at Delhi, so you never know if at that turns out to be a slow turner or a 250 kind of a pitch. It does help without a doubt, because the World Cup is going to be is going to be a long tournament, and in the second half pitches will slow down, and if you have to bat first. Uh, then it could be a difficult thing, because in the evening you could still expect, if you're playing in North India, that there could be some dew, but not in the first half, even if you're playing in North India.
Okay. I just want to reflect on KL Rahul's knock. He scored 111 against Pakistan, 39 today. And Pranav Anand going on to say, for me, Rahul's dismissal was more disappointing than Kohli. KL had seen this pitch, how batters are getting out, but he played so far away from his body. Till that point, he was so brilliant versus spin. Nikhil, do you agree with him here?
No, I don't think so. It got 7 degrees of turn. I mean, that is a lot of turn for anybody to encounter, no matter how fast or slow the deck is. And you saw the replay also, he was looking to just go straight only. But the slowness, firstly, he picked the length right because he went back and wanting to play the horizontal bat shot. But it spun so much and it was slow and the ball stuck. And he almost completed the shot before he wanted to. And then I don't think that is a throwing away your wicket kind of a dismissal because he did most of the things right, but there was just lots of him to cover for. So I wouldn't really call it throwing away wicket. It was a very good ball, and it was a lot of turn. Sometimes you have to take that punt, and he took that punt on the length, but the ball turned more than he expected, and 7 degrees is a lot of turn. Yeah, I don't think I
It
am
is.
able to quantify it that way. It may look like that on screen कि यार इतना time मिल रहा है तेरे को तो फिर कैसे सीधा मार रहा है, but if you see it live, the the reaction time to that is very very less, and when it's doing so much, you are not always going to be sure of how hard to go or how much to go. So I think I'll give you benefit of doubt there. I don't think it was throwing away his wicket.
And sometimes it's all
I
about
don't think
element
there
of doubt as
was.
well, right, Gurkirat? I mean, you look at even what Introspect is saying, and you can take this one. Gill and Pandya's dismissals as well. They were leaning too much in the front foot and not after the pitch of the ball. Should they have used their feet more? Were they circumspect? I know Gill, it was pretty much the first ball, but Pandya, surely you could have done something different.
Gill, he was completely beaten both in the air and off the pitch in that dismissal. I don't think he had any chance to even get his eye in versus spin. Against pace, he was trying to manufacture some pace. This was not an easy track to bat on. Rohit made it look like a flat pitch, but it wasn't. There was difficult. The ball was stopping a bit. With respect to Pandya, that's how Pandya has been batting versus left arm spin and spin that leaves him, especially when it's pitched on the fourth stump. He's not someone who really looks to go back and then maneuver the ball. He looks to, and given the situation, I think in his mind, the situation was very clear that he wanted to just defend the first few balls, which is first 20 balls, and let's just see how things go. Because before his dismissal, I think just an over or a few balls ago, Kishan had lost his wicket. So it was more down to the premeditated mindset that he had. Okay, I want to go forward and defend. And I don't think for this particular dismissal you could really say that it was the worst thing to do, because the idea was to smother the spin and get to the pitch of the ball. But Wellalage on more than a few occasions got the ball to dip a lot more than what batters expected. Otherwise also, if even when Pandya was at his best, he was really a spin hitter or a spin murderer, if you want to call him. He wasn't really someone who would come down the track. Most of his sixes were when he hit them from the crease.
Yeah.
That's true even now. Even when he's hitting a 6-2 leg spin over covers, it is to a foolish delivery, and he's still hitting it from the crease. So Pandya is not the guy who anyway uses a lot of feet to come down the pitch. Maybe go back sometimes, but not to come down the pitch.
Okay, lots of questions pouring in. Really appreciate it, because, of course, the update that I can give you from now is I'm just checking it out on the cricket.com website where the live blog's happening. The covers are coming off. It's just a bit of a mizzle, not even a drizzle, if you guys know the slight difference. It's just literally spitting down. So I think India will resume batting. The only over is going to be deducted from 7:52 p.m. IST, that is. Nick's, honestly, do we have enough runs to act as cushion for our bowlers? That's the key question. Do you think today the 2 points are precious? Because if Sri Lanka beat us, then again it's a dogfight in the middle.
On paper, yes, there is enough quality and to take care of this total, but it's always like that. The more the merrier. If you get to 20, you just have that 30 runs extra for a poor new ball spell, or a middle was where it's one batter has gone Jai Mata and hit a few sixes. It'll just cover for that kind of a thing. Uh, I'm actually not too worried in terms of this exact score, because this is what you want to see. Suppose something like this happens in the World Cup. You are playing three spinners. These are your first choice three spinners, and the deck is something, and the opponent is also somewhere where you feel that they might play spin better. Good time to see how your plans are working out in that manner, and lots to learn from that aspect. So whatever has happened under lights even yesterday, you feel there is enough in it for people to help, but they'll have to adapt very quickly. If they don't do it, if they leave it to, okay, if not me, somebody else, that it may not happen like that. So they'll have to hit the ground running very early. So to just set the tone for them.
Gurkirat, I just want to ask you about Ishan Kishan, because 33 of 61 is not very Ishan Kishan-esque. In fact, sports fan and introspect want to have their say. And he goes on to ask you, in fact, anything on Ishan Kishan's innings, his lack of strike rotation today, although every other batter struggled. And introspect saying Kishan should have tried playing till the end. Even a 100-ball 70 would have been great here. But did you really kind of hedge your bets against him or for him on this pitch and this attack?
See, this innings hasn't really. If someone has followed Ishan Kishan's career so far, this innings doesn't really tell you something that you don't already know. Uh, on difficult pitches where there has been grip, his problem of not rotating strike has only been accentuated to an extent that he rarely gets stuck. Right, in West Indies the pitches were slower, but he had the advantage of opening where the ball was new and there were field restrictions, so he could still take that chance. Today, 3 wickets have fallen. Really can't take that chance, and the pitch was a difficult one to bat on. Dhananjay De Silva was also bowling with a lot of control, taking the ball away. So he, at many times, he was just stuck at the crease. He didn't really know if he wanted to come forward or go back. And the today's innings is a perfect example of why, just because he's a left-hander, he will not solve your issues of playing left arm spin, because KL looked far more comfortable. I'm confident that even if Shreyas had played, he would have been far more confident, because these guys know how to construct an innings. These guys have done it day in, day out, and they know how to rotate strike. Kishan, on the other hand, has not been that player. He's been someone who either deals in boundaries or when gets stuck. See, he tried one release shot. He hit 1-6 to Wellalage, but that was also, it was not something that just came out of nowhere. He was trying really hard to find a release shot from somewhere, but it wasn't happening. And then when Asalanka came on again, I don't think if he had batted long enough, he would have been able to score a 100 ball 70. Also, that's not how you plan your eventual end score of an innings in ODIs, because you feel that you have to make up, you feel you have to attack. So nothing surprising with Kishan's innings. This is something that he'll have to improve on. He's gotten better at it, but not enough that he can eclipse Shreyas Iyer or KL Rahul in the 11.
Okay, next, Pranavanam going to say, will moisture now make it difficult to face spin or better? I guess it will quicken slightly, coming onto the bat slightly better, but more natural variation expected, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, you played yesterday only on at this venue, so you also know whether at what, because it is cloudy, you don't expect dew to come into the picture here. So even if you feel it may slightly quicken up or come onto the bat better, you played this yesterday on an adjacent strip, so you should be able to adapt better. So that's what I said. The adaptation will have to be very quick from India's standpoint, and I'm very keen to see whether they go to Hardik as first change or they immediately go to spin, because Sri Lanka will mix righty lefty combination there. I don't think today is the day where you can think that I can't bowl a left arm spinner to a left handed batter, because I don't think you have the luxury of an off spinner any which ways. So you'll have to use them. And again, it is just better for India to be better prepared in terms
But
of
Nick, the thing
bowling.
is, everyone's kind of asking you guys here, and Vikram Mohanty is also echoing the same question. Paji, Nick, what are your views on Rohit retaining arm? It might be a fun question, a funny question to some, but because Sri Lanka has done well, do we kind of take a page out of Sri Lanka's book, Nick? Because, like, even Vikram Mohanty right now is saying Gill and Rohit. What do you say?
Yeah,
My
I
answer,
don't.
Next,
my
I'll
bit
come to you,
is
Gurkha.
just my bit is the same as I said for numbers, the righty bit. You back your best possible skilled options and let them do the job. If they are not going to do or adapt in time, Rohit and Gill will have even more pressure to come good. You can try them someday, but responsibility lies with the main guys. And this is the, I mean, you have, it's not that they have read the picture out. You have three spinners. These are your best options at this point of time. So if they don't do it, you work on why they could not do it. You want to try a few options, yes, but first plan has to be to get these three and use them well. And I don't see Rohit and Gill bowling, because I don't see them bowling in the World Cup as well. So there is no point having fun for the sake of it. Stick to your guns, back the bowling attack to do the job.
You agree, Gurkha?
Pretty much, and adding on to that, Rohit's is in great batting form. You don't like sports fan is saying, you don't want to take that risk of him injuring himself. And plus, what do you gain out of it? I don't remember the last time Shubman Gill bowled, so it doesn't really take you. I thought, like, when we were doing the preview, uh, I said that now that today India are playing Axar Patel, they should really use this game to give him the opportunity to just go out and showcase what all he can do. I think India missed that opportunity with the bat when it comes to utilizing, like, I I'm not saying that he should have batted at 5, because you want to give Kishan confidence, especially after how he did in the last innings that he batted at that position. But he could have either come in at number 6 or number 7. Okay, I understand why not 6, because you wanted to keep a left hand right hand combination. But he should have really come ahead of Jadeja, because Jadeja's struggles with spin in white ball aren't new at all, and you are really not going to get anything to know about a batter if at all times he's end up stuck batting with the tail. And it's been a pattern for him, and it's not solving itself, and India are not getting to know anything. I just hope today, like Nikhil said, uh, they don't get into the mindset, oh, we don't want to bowl Akshar Patel because two left-handers are batting, or we want to bowl Ravindra Jadeja. You know what Ravindra Jadeja is capable of with the ball. He's been bowling very well. I think in the what he's bowled in this year with the white ball, I don't think he's bowled as well in the white with the white ball in the last 4 5 years. So you know
Yeah.
what is there. If anything, you should really throw the ball to Akshar and tell him, we'll give you an unchanged spell of 5 to 6 overs, because even in the BGT, what happened was that I don't think he got an extended spell of 5 6 overs, because the captain was too keen to go back to Jadeja or Ashwin. Okay, throw the ball. So when, as a player, you are only there as a change up bowler, or to bowl defensive, lines or just to fill up the overs, you will never be able to bowl as well as you can, because there's always that that thing in your mind. If I try something and I go for runs, the captain will take me off. So
Hmm.
hopefully that clarity is there in today's game.
Yeah, lots to think about, man. I'm just trying to see the weather and how it stays clear. Apparently, it's just a sweeping shower, so we're going to expect play very soon. And lots of people jumping in the comments, and we really love that, guys. Honestly, give this video a like, follow Gurkirat and Nix in the respective handles, and if you want, you can follow me as well. We'll leave it in the description below. Jadeja should bat at 8, Surya should be made about 4 or 5. I mean, we can entertain questions of different kinds. And in
But
fact, Adnan
Surya
Shahid,
plays
we will
plays
talk
in
about Pakistan's matters when we preview their game on Thursday, so join us for that for sure. Sorry, Gurkirat, what were you saying?
no, the comment was about have Surya bat at 6, but Surya plays in place of who? Hardik.
I mean, sometimes, like Vikram Mohanty saying, cricket is a funny game. I don't know what to say to these lads in the comments at times. But look, I want to talk about a promotion, not mine, even though it happened a fair while ago. Bumrah's promotion to 9, bhai. So that means Kuldeep is no more number 9. See you, Kuldeep Yadav. See you, Gurkirat. See you, Delhi Capitals.
It's fine because Bumrah's really improved with the bat. He showed that in that game versus Pakistan. And Kuldeep, uh, as a batter, doesn't give you that feeling that he can clear the 30-yard circle. He can defend, yes, but clearing the 30-yard circle right now seems to be a problem for Kuldeep Yadav. Maybe
What
he
is
can work.
Bumrah's ceiling with the bat? Like, what is the max he can score? Because we've seen it in tests,
Most
but
runs, most runs in an over in Test cricket. That's Bumrah's ceiling with the bat.
okay,
That's a pretty good ceiling.
it's a good ceiling. I mean, if Bumrah can be like half of
Pat
what
Cummins.
Agarkar, yeah, or Pat Cummins, great, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Agarkar is a good
You are
batter.
expecting too much. I just want wickets from Bumrah. Let him do that.
Yeah.
I think India though really missed the trick with Jadeja and Axar spot.
Hmm.
I mean, though these are the kind of decks where you actually just want to use that resource better, and it's just sad that every time Axar gets to bat, as Paji said, it's not always the best position. So you're hardly going to see anything in that sense. So I don't know. I didn't see him playing a lot of games. He's got to play this one, but again he's going to get stuck. Hopefully he gets to bat, and then we can see something of him to just make out for the future. But I think that is a very it's not a costly miss, but you've again let go of a chance to see something of a player. And he looked comfortable in whatever he's played so far. He hasn't looked like how Kishan has looked or how Jadeja has looked in terms of even getting the single.
Hmm.
So that's where you just feel that some of these things, these are like basics as per the situation. So sometimes the seniority is there, but then the better player has to just walk out.
For sure. By the way, Neural Hacks with Rasan saying if Bumrah can be 1/4 of Vokes is more than enough, for sure. Sports fans saying Bumrah's batting can be Braw's nightmare in that test. And also, Gurkirat, I want to ask you this before I completely forgot it. It just slipped my mind. Sorry, where is that comment? Because Satyabhati Sarvanan, it just made me remind myself of that point. India have batted quite a bit, bro, in this Asia Cup. So is it just like a great blessing in disguise? Nepal ke saath hui,
Yeah,
Pakistan, and now Sri Lanka.
the one thing that Rohit's definitely better than Virat in terms of captaincy is winning tosses.
100%.
He wins a lot of tosses. Let's
If
hope that
Virat won half those tosses in the IPL, no. RCB, you see where they would have been, boy.
वापिस आ जाए.
दिल को दिलासा देने के लिए ये ख्याल अच्छा है गालिब.
No, I agree. Okay, fine. Rohit has won good tosses in this Asia Cup, but still, India have batted how many overs so far? I mean, they got
But
good
it's
time.
good. It's good that they're getting that batting practice. Uh, but yeah, the one thing that I wanted to talk about was the difference where why Akshar looked far more comfortable than say Kishan or Jadeja was because he understood very quickly that because the ball is turning, committing to the first line is not the best thing to do here. He,
Yeah.
even when he was playing all those spinners, he was not committing himself to the front foot. He was waiting on the back foot and letting the ball turn and then playing with the turn. And he's shown that often. You go back to that Indore test match, you go back to that Delhi test match. Therein lies the difference between Jadeja and Akshar's batting. The same method works very well for Jadeja when he's playing pace because uh, when you're playing a pacer, your motive more often than not is to play the first line and protect your off stump, because the ball
Yeah.
is going to move away at good pace that you will not make that last minute adjustment to find the edge. When you're playing spinners, it is just your psychology as a batter or whatever you want to call it. You just get sucked into, going for that late turn, and you end up edging it. So that is why the method that works for Jadeja against pacers is something that doesn't really work for him versus spinners. And he, again, like Hardik, doesn't use his feet to come down the track. So it makes
It's
things all the
and
more difficult
and
for
not
him.
just the feet. It's about using the crease as well. You very often see Axar really go back or really come forward as well, and that in itself also gives you enough room to play along with it. You see Hardik's dismissal; he's so far forward, but again, it's not that it may not. It could have easily worked out and he played out that ball, but it's just having a lot more options in that sense, so that next time we're able to cope with it better.
And I just think what Gurkirat said about Jadeja and the pace and spin, it's almost polar opposite of what he does when he plays cricket with us. Struggles against pace, but delicious spin. It's almost like our in-house Shreyas Iyer with the bat. By the
When did you start bowling spin?
remember Pyar Se, because I thought, okay, fine, give you some runs.
No,
You've
your
come to
slower ones
Bangalore.
were hit. Your slower ones were hit out of the park.
No, no, stop edges caught by a wicketkeeper. By the way, some crazy stats and crazy pitch maps you guys can access on cricket.com, like this one. And this one, of course, was the man, Dunit Wellalage. Brilliant stuff from him, Pfeiffer. And like I said, price scalps. And metronomical accuracy. I'm not saying he's a Rangana Herat, Nikhil, but who do you liken him to in world cricket right now? Because there's so many left arm spinners. Is he unique in his own way, or do you think he's typical subcontinental slow left arm brilliance?
No, I don't think he's as one as everybody else, because I there are a lot of things to like in terms of the way he runs up as well. There is an angle to his run up; he's not coming straight, and then he's also using going wide of the crease and then hitting that spot. So while it is easier to look at the spot and say that okay, it is just one thing coming at one spot, but it is coming to you differently. Sometimes it's just a bit more wide, sometimes it's a bit more straight, and there is dip. There are very few people who are able to get the dip like he got. You look at the first ball that he bowled to Gill. That's just the perfect example of getting him into that shot and then just leaving him defunded. So I think he's one of his own. There is a reason why we kept talking about Wellalage so much in the preview, because we've seen that in the under 19, and we talked about how good, some players you just feel they are slightly more ready as compared to the others, and Wellalage seems one of them. Even and I go back to that game against Afghanistan, where he got two crucial wickets in 1 over. That it tells you a lot about the psyche of the bowler and also the management, that how much they trust this guy, that under
Yeah.
pressure they did not go to somebody else, but they went to Wellalage, and there was a left-hander batting there. So and he still got him out. It may not have been the best ball, but you are just able to put so much pressure that you are able to create a mistake. And that's what I'm looking forward from Jadeja and Axar as well. That you saw that pitch map will not be too different for Axar and Jadeja also. But what pace they bowl at and how do India start, that will decide a lot for what kind of fields they can also have to attack them.
Yeah, and well done to you, Nix, because you didn't just predict the Wellalage situation, but also, if you guys know, he also did call Thor Hridoy right before the tournament. So he's got 2 on 2 and many more to come for sure. We'll end the particular mid-innings show right now because there's going to be pitch inspection about right now. In fact, we'll give you the update just before we log off. Good kid, that's the final one for you to answer. What can India do to work on their newfound weakness of spin bowling? Quickly, in 1 minute, you got to wrap this up.
Play as much of Akshar and Jadeja in the nets. That's all that they can do.
Oh, okay. I was expecting a much more longer answer, but sometimes when I tell Paji 1 minute, he gives me much more shorter. Great. Love it.
बहुत
By the
बुराई हुई है
way,
ना, इसलिए आज मेरी बहुत बुराई हुई है
ठीक है भाई होता है
in
होता
internal
है.
meetings.
Enjoy the food with Akshay tomorrow. I'm sure you'll have good times with him. By the way, there is of course breaking news as you can see over there. Play to start at 7:15 p.m. and who knows how much India can muster with the tail. Axar Patel and Siraj are still there. And let's see if India can pick up the points because right now they are comfortable in terms of the net run rate, courtesy their big ass win against Pakistan. But if Sri Lanka gets the job done today, that Bangladesh game becomes something to take note of. That's all we have in this mid-innings with Nikhil and Gurkira. Thanks, guys. You've been legends again. And, of course, all you guys in the comments as well. There is, of course, an Asia Cup video coming out relating to the 1986 tournament. And here's the story. It drops at 8 p.m. I'll show you the promo now. The continental event would be played without the defending champions. Desperate to make the tournament a success and avoid it being a bilateral affair, the hosts invited Bangladesh to join the fleet. Thus, Bangladesh played their first ever one-day international in the group stage of the Asia Cup in 1986. Bangladesh had lost both their matches against Pakistan and Sri Lanka respectively by identical margins, 7 wickets, and they crashed out of the meet. Pakistan defeated Sri Lanka in the group stage but were handed a 5-wicket defeat in the final, and Sri Lanka went on to clinch their maiden silverware in the Asian circuit. It was the only edition which did not feature India, making Sri Lanka the only nation to have played in each Asia Cup, starting from 1984. Yes, that is available on the cricket.com YouTube channel at 8 p.m. and lots of other things that you guys will like there, including a training clip of Virat Kohli nutmegging a dog. That's available as well. Guys, thank you so much. It's been absolutely brilliant. Just want to encourage the viewers, so many of you are watching. None of you are liking. What are you guys doing? Please like this before we end the show. Please like it. Just spend 2 seconds right now. Like it. It propels the algorithm. And of course, we'll see you in the post-match scheme of things. Thanks for watching. Goodbye from us.
Cheers.